This video is my top Korean dramas of 2024. Yes, I know, this video is very much overdue. I am aware that it's almost March, but we're here now, and I still wanted to make this list. I have had this list on my blog and as a podcast episode up for a good month now, and now I'm just turning it into a video as well. So if you've already listened to that podcast episode or even checked it out on the blog, this list won't be new to you. But for people who are just finding me and want to hear my list, we're gonna talk about my favorite Korean dramas. A little background if nobody knows and nobody has watched my intro video. I have been watching Korean dramas for about 15 years, as well as like other dramas that I started periodically in those 15 years. Currently, I watch everything. I make a list of Korean dramas and then I make a list of everything that is not Korean. Today is going to be the Korean list, my favorite Korean dramas of 2024, and then next week I'll release my list of non-Korean dramas that I loved from 2024. A couple rules about this. One is they don't have to be 2024 dramas. I will just have had to watch them in 2024 because a lot of times, mostly when it comes to non-Korean dramas, I don't usually watch non-Korean dramas as they air. I wait until they're done. But Korean dramas, I watch mostly as they air. But I still kind of periodically sprinkle in some that might be older dramas. So if I watched them and completed them in 2024, they might be on this list. So that's one rule I usually go. I've been doing this list for about 5 years now. That has always been my rule. Also, if your favorites aren't on this list, it probably means I have not seen them. I am very, very much of a crime drama watcher. I watch a lot of crime dramas. I am very particular when it comes to romance. I don't not watch romance dramas. I'm just very, very particular to it. Most of my favorite dramas are going to be crime dramas. So your favorites probably aren't going to be on this list because I might not even have checked them out. I'm thinking of one particular drama that obviously a lot of people watched in 2024. Spoiler alert, I did not even watch it. That's why I'm not going to be talking about it. If you know, you know. Right? Also, this list is in no particular order. Except for my number one. I don't usually rank my list. I just put my list out there except for my number one drama. Usually I know this is going to be my favorite drama of the year. This is going to be my number one. And that's how it is. So everything other than my number one drama, which I'll talk about last, is not ranked whatsoever. But my number one drama is. What else? What other disclaimer should I do before this? I guess my other disclaimer is for many months in 2024, which was not normal for me, I did not watch a single Korean drama airing, which usually I am. Usually I'm watching at least one airing Korean drama. So the fact that multiple months of 2024 I was not watching a single airing drama kind of shows how my year went when it came to Korean dramas. I will admit this was probably my easiest list to make of all the times I made this list, because usually it's pretty hard because I have a lot of favorites. This time, not so much. It was pretty easy. I barely had enough Korean dramas to make this list because I try to do 10 and then maybe honorable mentions. Hopefully, I watch more and like more Korean dramas this year. But 2024 was a difficult year for me when it came to Korean dramas. But 2024 was amazing for crime dramas, I will say. Other genres, you could argue yes or no. But it's very unnatural for me to not be watching any airing Korean dramas in a month. And that happened multiple times in 2024. So that should tell you my year and how it went. I'm going to start from the bottom going to the top, though. I'm going to start from my honorable mentions, which I only had one. And then I'm going to go up the list until I hit my number one. My number one drama is going to be the last. My honorable mention is not a Korean drama, but it's still Korean. So I included it. And the reason why it is an honorable mention is because it's not a drama, it's a variety show, and that's Culinary Class Wars. The only reason why this is honorable mention is because it's not a drama. But I still wanted to include it because it is still one of my favorite things I watched in 2024. Like, I was obsessed with this show when it was airing. Like, I think I dropped everything else I was watching until I watched it, or until I could finish this, and I was so mad that I couldn't binge it. And I literally waited to binge it. I love cooking shows, and this one just hit the sweet spot for me. I loved everything about it, and I'm so glad we're getting a season 2. You could see that the chefs respected each other, but it was also a competition. Like, they were brutal in eliminating. I advise you not to watch this on an empty stomach at all. I was constantly eating while watching this show. You could see that the chefs, whether they were professional or not, learned from each other. I do wish there was more interactions with the chefs, though, or they at least showed that. But it was fun seeing like the veteran chefs go up against the more amateur chefs and kind of have equal footing and actually have to compete. I'm really looking forward to season 2. You can't help but root for the underdogs in this, and it was a lot of fun to watch. If you want to hear my full review of this, I do have a podcast episode on this, so you can go and check that out. But that's Culinary Class Wars. I rated it a 10 out of 10. All right, Crash. This is a Korean drama that aired on Hulu and Disney. I feel like in 2024, Hulu and Disney has become the new OCN. Really, like, the dark, gritty crime dramas are all on, or mostly on, Disney Hulu. And that really stood out for me in 2024, and I think it's going to continue into 2025. There's many Disney Plus Korean dramas I'm looking forward to because they are the dark crime dramas. But Crash really stood out to me because I was definitely still going to watch this no matter what, but I was surprised with how much I loved it. I did not anticipate enjoying it as much as I did, because if you guys don't know, I have a criminal justice background, very rudimentary. I never have done it as a professional capacity, but my education's in that background. So when you presented a Korean drama as a unit that was investigating incidents with cars, with vehicles, to myself, I thought, well, how are they going to make an entire drama about that? There's only so many crimes that you could do. But this drama really proved me wrong. It was very creative in what crimes happened within the show and what they investigated. I enjoyed seeing the creativity when it came to seeing the crimes and seeing how they were solved and what the outcome of those crimes were. I also thought this kind of flew under the radar. Not a lot of people watched it, and I wish more people would watch it, especially if you like crime dramas. I think people just either something was airing around that same time or it just didn't pique a lot of people's interest, and I really think a lot more people would enjoy this. It has amazing found family, really good. I really grew to love the unit that was created and the people who worked in the unit, and I thought it was very well acted. Yes, there are some tropes, like Lee Min-ki did play kind of the same character he always plays, but he does it well, so why not do it again? I do think this drama could have been 10 episodes and not 12, because the last episode really wasn't needed, but there's little rumbling that there might be a season 2 for this. I would watch a season 2. I think it would definitely benefit from a season 2. And it's definitely one of those types of show that they could produce a season like every couple of years, just like they're doing with Taxi Driver. I think that would do well. So I gave Crash a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one. It was very underrated and unexpected for me. Next one I'm going to talk about is The Atypical Family. I have a podcast episode review of this, so if you want to check that out, you can. This is a 12-episode Korean drama that aired on Netflix. I might be a little biased with this because Jung Ki-young is in it and is one of my favorite actors, Korean actors. So I knew I was going to watch this no matter what. I will say though, even if he was not in this cast, just due to the synopsis, I would have watched it anyway. It was a very different show than what I thought it would be, which is why it became one of my favorites. Because in the beginning, I wasn't really sure if I was going to complete the drama, because as many other people said, I did not like the female lead. I did not like her character. But after a couple episodes, as we learned more about her character and kind of like her background, and you came to understand why her character was the way she was, then I grew to like it a lot more, and I continued watching the drama, and I'm so happy I did, because it is definitely one of my favorites of 2024, and why I have a review of it on my podcast. I loved the found family. You can see there's a found family is a favorite trope of mine, so every time a drama has found family, I'm going to point it out. A lot of crime dramas do, and that's why I love crime dramas so much, is because found family is a huge favorite trope of mine, and I will never stop talking about it. I should probably do a video of my favorite found families, or crime found families or something. I thought this plot for Atypical Family was really unique, because when you first read the synopsis, it was like family of superheroes. So, you have those images in your head that pop up, and you think it's just going to be that. But then as it started airing and people actually found out what it was actually about, it gave a little more uniqueness to the superhero genre, because it wasn't technically superheroes. It was people with powers, but then I thought it was a unique twist on how the real world problems these characters were facing affected their powers. I thought the drama used that concept to have some really good messages that you got by the end of it. I liked the romance of this, but it was not the highlight for me. It was good. It was good. It wasn't the best I'd ever seen. I liked it, but I thought the other relationships were more of a highlight for me, like the father-daughter relationship between Jong Ki-young and his daughter, or even the female lead and her family relationships, or the mother-daughter relationships. I thought those supporting relationships were a lot more impactful when it came to this drama, and was definitely a joy to watch as they progressed and changed and were affected by this female lead coming into the fold and being a part of their family. The drama has a lot of emotion and discusses a lot of good societal and life issues, so I thought that was handled very well. I just loved this drama, and I love the fact that I wasn't anticipating how much I would like it. And I think it stood out because of how unique it was and how well it handled these conversations it wanted to bring up. I rated this a 9 out of 10. And as I said, you do have a review podcast episode for me to talk about that and really dive into that drama. Okay, so the next drama I'm going to talk about, I don't know if a lot of people watched this, or if they did, I don't remember a lot of people talking about it. This is Parasite the Grey. It's on Netflix for 6 episodes. This is just another Korean drama that really surprised me, because for me, I had seen the anime that this was semi-based off of. When it comes to anime and live adaptations, we all know they have not always been the best. They have not always adapted it very well. So I was very skeptical when this was announced, because that anime has a cult following. It is a classic anime, and it already has some Japanese live adaptations that are pretty well received. So I was like, well, how are they going to do this in terms of the Korean aspect of life? And is it going to be a direct adaptation or something else? I was very skeptical going into this. I was pleasantly surprised, because I was really worried that this would taint the original material, and it definitely did not. I think it took the great things of the original anime and appreciated the source material and spun it in a way that was uniquely Korean and uniquely built for Korean society. It still had connections to the original source material, which you did see in the drama, but it was more of a spin-off than a direct adaptation, which I thought they handled that very well and much better than what I expected. If you like post-apocalyptic monster stuff, you should give this one a try. I highly recommend this one. The fight scenes are creative and really drew you in. As I said, the story was really unique because it was a spin-off and not necessarily a direct live adaptation, and it kind of put its own twist on a lot of the themes that the original anime brought forth. I would love a season 2 of this, because I think it has a lot of material it could still talk about, It didn't have a cliffhanger or anything. Like, it doesn't need a season 2, but it definitely left threads that people could make into a season 2 if they wanted to. Also, without spoiling, the cameo at the end was amazing, and I was very unexpected, and I loved it so much. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this, I did a anime / live adaptation comparison podcast episode. You can go hear that now on Spotify. I rated this a 9.5 out of 10. There were minor issues, but overall, one of the best things I watched in 2024, for sure. The next one might be a little surprising because I think it's more of like a polarizing thing. Either people like this or people didn't. That was The Judge from Hell on Hulu, Disney. It's 14 episodes. I rated this a 9.5 out of 10. As you can tell, I absolutely love this drama. I knew I would watch this Korean drama when it was announced, no matter who was in it. It's also not really surprising that this is on my end of the year list, just because if you know what I like, it's not really surprising at all. I loved Park Shin-hye in this role. I will say I was not the biggest fan of her, or I am not the biggest fan of her, just from her previous works. I haven't seen everything, but some of the things I've watched her in, I was just not a fan. This role for her is so much different than anything I've seen her do. She needs to do more of these roles. I hear this is more of what her movie roles are, which I need to watch more of her movies because she was so good in this role. I love how her character was unapologetically evil most of the time. I loved how gray a lot of the other characters were. I loved the polarizing dynamic between her and Kim Jae-young. Like, she started out evil. She's a demon. And she somewhat grew to be good by the end of it, where Kim Jae-young's character is human and started out good and somewhat became gray or even evil, if you make that argument, by the end. And I loved that direction and watching that through the drama. I'm so glad to see Kim Jae-young back in Korean drama land. I've loved him for a while, and I'm so glad he's now back. I can't wait to watch more of him in the future. I love the story. I love the lore. Trigger warning, this drama is really violent, but that's also kind of why I liked it. You get so much satisfying revenge in this drama that it kind of, for me, makes up for how violent it is, because you have these criminals doing these heinous crimes to people that you see it on screen happening, and then you have to watch it again, but it's Park Shin-hye doing those same crimes to the criminals, and that's the satisfying justice that they get. So it is very, very, very violent, I will say. There's one thread that did not wrap up by the end of the drama that left a couple questions. That is why my rating is not a 10 out of 10. Because they kind of just opened this storyline up, but then never did anything with it. Overall, though, it was still very entertaining. I also did predict one of the characters' outcomes by, like, I don't know, halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, but not because of the plot. It's just from the actor who was playing the character, because a lot of times when I see this one actor in a drama, most of the time he's a villain. So I just predicted, oh, he's going to be the villain, and I was correct. But nothing because the plot was poorly written or anything. It was just because he is known for being villainous characters all the time. The most satisfying part of this drama, though, was the revenge part, was the justice that was given to these criminals, and it was very satisfying. That is Judge from Hell, rating it a 9.5 out of 10. Connection. I feel like this drama was another one that kind of flew under the radar. I don't think a lot of people watched it. I really think it's because it was a crime drama. A lot of people just didn't check it out. Maybe, I don't remember what else was airing around the time, but maybe that's the case too. This is nearly a perfect Korean drama for me. Nearly. It was so much better than I expected it to be. I just didn't know how Korea would pull off a crime drama about a cop addicted to drugs. Because we all know in Korea, their drug laws are very, very strict. I just couldn't see the vision of how they would pull off a crime drama where you have a cop who works in the drug unit become forcibly addicted to drugs by a criminal, and then he have to find these people who made him addicted, all while still working on drug cases and trying to avoid his own unit. I just couldn't see how that would be a great drama, or even how they would like pull that off at all. Let me tell you, they did. They pulled it off so well. I mean, there was one twist at the end of the drama I wish was not included, but that was really the only thing I did not like about this drama. The one twist didn't really add anything, so I think they could have left it out and it'd still be a great drama. What really stood out for me in this show, though, was Ji-sun. The acting in this drama was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Ji-sun especially, because he plays the cop who's addicted to drugs. Like, again, I've kind of dabbled with Ji-sun's dramas. I've watched him. I know who he is. He's very famous. I don't dislike him. I just haven't watched a ton of his dramas. The way he acted in Connection was something I had never seen him act before. Like, he deserves all the awards. All the awards. It's a fantastic crime drama. It's written well with twists. It's also really tight. Like, the plot is really tight with literally almost no threads that are left unresolved by the end, except for that one twist. Like, it was resolved, but that one twist I didn't really like. Loved the found family in this. You got multiple found families. There was so much tension and suspense, which was great, but it gave me so much anxiety watching this drama. But one of the best crime dramas I've watched ever. 9.5 out of 10. Connection. It's on Viki if you want to watch. Next drama is Marry My Husband. 16 episodes, Amazon Prime. I gave this a 9 out of 10, so it's not 9.5. And the reason why, usually when I make these lists, they're all 9.5 10s for me. When I'm getting into the 9s, 8s, you can tell that's where my monologue at the beginning of this video is. I didn't have a lot to choose from because I was not watching Korean dramas sometimes multiple months of 2024. Marry My Husband is on this list because it is a 9 out of 10. Still very, very satisfying to watch, but I will agree, I disliked as much as everybody else did the problems that it had. I had a lot of fun with this drama. Could it have been better? Absolutely, yes. But it was still fun to watch, and I still gave it a 9 out of 10, so I'm still gonna put it in here. I disliked pretty much what everybody else disliked. That one character coming in at the near end did not need to be there. That entire storyline did not need to be there. It also didn't need to be 16 episodes. It could have been 14, maybe even 12. I'm also a sucker for these dramas. You can see there's a common theme. I love revenge drama. It was pretty much a given I would like this. Acting was good. The chemistry was great. I loved all three couples. I'm glad we got multiple couples in this drama. I thought the revenge was very satisfying. I also was one of those people who enjoyed Perfect Marriage Revenge, and I liked that more than this. But I think this Korean drama is still a solid and a fun watch, nonetheless. I did a review of this, full breakdown of it on my podcast, so you can go back and listen to that episode if you so choose, but I gave that a 9 out of 10. Next drama is another surprising watch for me, because I normally don't gravitate towards these, and that is Like Flowers in Sand. It's on Netflix, it's 12 episodes. I mainly clicked play on this drama because of Jang Dong-yoon. He is one of my absolute, if not my favorite, Korean actor. I will watch him in anything, like literally anything. Even though I was very skeptical if I was actually going to finish this drama, because this drama really essentially is a slice of life drama. It has a minor murder plot in it. It really could have taken that out and be completely fine. But slice of life dramas are usually not something I go for. I usually don't like it. But I watched this because Jang Dong-yoon is in it. It was amazing. This drama was amazing. And again, another drama that not a lot of people checked out. It aired really, really early on in January. I think it even started in December. And I think Perfect Marriage Revenge and Marry My Husband was airing at the same time around this drama. And I think that just pulled a lot of people in those directions, and nobody checked this out. This drama is the definition of a healing drama. The definition of a healing drama. You have an underdog story. I loved the underdog story. You root for the underdog. Like, Jang Gang-yu's character is the underdog. You can't help but root for him. You become invested in him and the people around him and his family and the villagers. And it's just, there's so many characters you become attached to and you start supporting. I loved his character's personality and outlook of life. I loved all the villagers and how they either supported him or how they were affected by him and his life and his family. The acting was fantastic. Fantastic. If you skipped this drama and you like slice of life dramas, please go back and watch this. Please. If you skipped it because you were like, oh my god, they have a murder plot, it's very minor, extremely minor. You won't miss it. The murder plot, if this is 12 episodes, it wraps like 8 episodes in. So the last 4 episodes really is the slice of life part of this drama. And even within the first 8 that this murder plot still exists, it's really minor. Like, really minor. I was kind of mad that they even had it in there. Please go watch this drama. Please, I highly recommend it. Especially for slice of life people. You really are missing out on a beautiful, beautiful Korean drama, in my opinion. 9.5 out of 10 for Like Flowers and Sand. That was on Netflix. We have 3 more dramas. And as I said, the last drama is my favorite Korean drama of the year, number 1. Next one, I'm sure a lot of people have already talked about this, A Shop for Killers on Hulu and Disney. It's 8 episodes, 9.5 out of 10. It should not be a surprise this is on my favorites. It was on a lot of people's favorites. It's a crime drama. If, as I said, I'm a watcher of crime dramas, so not really surprising. I love this. It's fantastic. I mean, there's not much I can say about it. It's fantastic. It's fast-paced. I was enthralled from the very beginning. That first scene really draws you in and is beautifully shot, in my opinion. Crazy concept. The drama pulls it off really well. Season 2 is already confirmed, which I'm so excited for. Found family again. We get a lot of found family. The action, the cinematography, there's so much going for this drama. I cannot wait for season 2. I hope season 2 is just as good as season 1. 9.5 out of 10. I do have a review of this on the podcast as well. If you have not watched this and you like action crime dramas, please go check it out. Please. It's great. It's great. Really, the 9.5 out of 10 is because of the ending, because it needs a season 2. Really, that's it. It would have been a perfect drama if it didn't need a season 2. Again, it's not like a complete cliffhanger, but it's definitely like, no, we need that story. We need to see how that happens. Death's Game Part 1 and 2. Again, another one that probably is not surprising is on my list. I'm sure it's on a lot of people's list. Amazon Prime, 8 episodes in total. I watched both parts in 2024, so I put both parts on my favorite list. I still don't understand why Amazon Prime split it up, other than they wanted more people on their platform, I guess. When this drama came out, because the first part aired in late December of 2023, and second part aired in early 2024. When this drama aired and I watched it, I was like, oh my god, if the rest of the year is like this, we are going to have a fantastic Korean drama year. Obviously, I was wrong with that prediction because, as I said, there were multiple months I was not watching Korean dramas. But this drama is still amazing. It's still so good. It blew my mind. It definitely left an impact. I was thinking about it for a long time afterwards. It sticks with you, which is what we want when it comes to Korean dramas. Acting was great. I love that it had so many cameos, and it was hilarious but also sad, like all the emotions involved. Not surprising, I love this drama at all. Story really took you for a ride and did not let go from beginning to end. And you cared about these characters and you rooted for them. You also laughed when they made mistakes because some of it was kind of funny. I loved the messages told to the audience through this drama and the lessons that were taught through this drama. Again, I have a podcast review really diving into this if you want to check it out, but it should be no surprise that Death's Game Part 1 and 2 are on my favorite dramas of 2024. All right, we got to number 1. technically, is this a Korean drama? I don't know. I'm gonna put it as a Korean drama, but people can probably argue that it's not. For me, I will just put it as a Korean drama. That's Pachinko Season 2. It's on Apple TV, 8 episodes. When Pachinko Season 1 came out, it was my favorite Korean drama of that year, and I think that was 2022. So it's probably not surprising that Season 2 is now my favorite of 2024. This show is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, and it's really a shame that it's on Apple TV because not a lot of people watch it. They just don't have access to it. They're really missing out. You are really missing out if you are not watching Pachinko. I have not read the book, so this is solely off of the show that I've watched. I've watched Season 1 and Season 2. It's hard, in my opinion, it's really hard to make a Season 2 better or at least equal to Season 1. We all know, like, Season 2s have historically not always been the best. They've always had to been a slump. It's hard to pull this off. It's hard. And Pachinko, in my opinion, did it very well. And even somewhat elevated it, like made it even better, or made it like higher stakes, I guess, because it takes place during World War II, which is pivotal for this season. Pachinko accomplished this. Pachinko accomplished this well and did it very well. And I actually really feel privileged to be watching this show because it's that good, in my opinion. It has a beautiful OST. I love the OST. It has a gorgeous cinematography, wonderful story, rich history. The cast is amazing. The acting is amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. There's really no issues with this show for me. I might just be looking through it with like rose-colored glasses. I don't know, but I really could not find anything I disliked about this. Really, I didn't. The characters just make this heartwarming but also heartbreaking story. It's impactful. It's an impactful show with a story that really needs to be told and shown at this large scale of a show. I can't wait for Season 3. Again, I haven't read the book, so I have no idea what's going to happen in Season 3, but I can't wait. I can't wait. And I think I said this in other podcast episodes. I think if this show was made in Korea, like by Korean media, it would have been a completely different show. I think it really has a unique take and unique viewpoint that is needed. And I think that's why it stands out so much and why it's so good. I have a review of this on my podcast as well, and there's really nothing bad I can say about the show. It's why it's not my number one. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a beautiful show. Cannot wait for Season 3. And Pachinko Season 2 is my number one show of 2024. That's it. That's my list for my favorite Korean dramas of 2024. Look for my list of non-Korean shows next week. But what were some of your favorite Korean dramas of 2024? I would love to know. Do you agree with my list? Do you not? Do you want to add stuff to my list? Do you want to tell me to check something else out? Let me know what you think. I really hope you enjoyed my list of Korean dramas. And I'll see you next week.